Hello friends, we'll be discussing the concept of what is the nature of economics. It will be a very small explanation that we'll be having here. Let's start with that. Now, what exactly is the nature of economics is what we'll be understanding right now. So what exactly do you know about economics, how economics function, and how exactly it is related to, or how the progression goes on from there forward? We'll be explaining that thing first. Let's start with the definition of it first of all. Economics is really a science. The very first question to describe the nature of economics is to ask whether economics is a science or an art or both. We really don't know whether economics is a science or an art or both. Hence, the first question that we'll be asking is whether economics is science or it is really art or it is a mixture of both of them. This is what we'll be discussing now. Science uses empirical approach. Here are the 5 features of the scientific study. Now, science uses empirical approach. What is the empirical approach? It is a combination of all these 5 features that we'll be understanding right now. The first would be verifiability. That is the first option. Second would be objectivity. Third would be controllability. Fourth would be reliability. And the last one would be predictability. That means VOCRP. V stands for verifiability, things that you can verify. O stands for objectivity. That means things that you can objectify, that you can absolutely go ahead and figure out that this is the subject, this is the object. Next one would be reliability. That means something which is related to things that can be related to, or if they are reliable when it comes to the study of economics. Next one would be C, that is controllability. How much can be controlled and what is beyond control. And the last one would be predictability. That means something that you can predict, something that you can make an assumption of. These are the 5 features, or rather these are the 5 important aspects of empirical approach. Now, economics should have these features to qualify as a subject science, or rather as a science subject. If at all these features are there, then you can call it as science. But what if it is not? The definition of economics clearly underlines it as a subject which is centered around economics behavior of human being. The study of human behavior is different from the study of nature. Absolutely correct. Economics is centered around the behavior of human being, and which is completely different from the study of nature. Whatever you do in science is the study of nature, but however in economics it is related to the study of human behavior. The objectivity, controllability, and other features of typical science subject do not amicably fit for the study of the human behavior in the social setting. The concept of objectivity, controllability doesn't fit for the human behavior, because you cannot control the human behavior at all. It is absolutely beyond your control. You cannot objectify a human behavior. Hence, the reason being this is not a science is the reason that they cannot be related to the nature of the studies, which is studies of nature and studies of human behavior, completely different. Further, it is also mentioned that basic economics is a set of tools for measurement of economic process, be it GDP growth rate, inflation rate, elasticity of demand, etc. And this feature adds significant limitation on the economics being on an art. It is also mentioned that economics is a tool to mention, or rather to measure, what is the GDP, what is the inflation rate, what is the economic growth rate. And this thing isn't a part of scientific study, and hence it is completely related to the study of art. Hence, economic can be defined as it is more of art and less of science. Therefore, economics is being placed in the midst of being science or art. Hence, not completely art, not completely science, but in middle of something which is known of midst of science or art. So, this is what we have to define when it comes to economics being a part of, or rather the nature of economics that we have for a discussion. This is all what we had when it comes to the discussion of how is the nature of economics. So, thank you.